And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Do not adjust your YouTubes or Google Hangouts. This is, in fact, XGR, Xpound Gaming Radio.
Hosted you're not on the gaming radio and adjusted to here.
Yep. Hosted this week by Chris, aka The Mole. That's me. And joining me is the on-again, off-again host as well, Rick the Hammer.
Hello.
And, of course, we have Pew.
Hey!
It's so passive, I don't know why. We just started on a bad note towards Pew. I'm sorry. But hello, Anastasia Laserbeam, aka Pew Pew.
Hey.
And why don't you, just because I was all mean to you, why don't you kick us off first with your news?
Okay. First, ZombiU, fun stuff. ZombiU is just going to become Zombi for the Xbox. And it's going to be ported there, so you don't have to use the gamepad and without a second screen, which is going to be really weird. Mm-hmm. With it being transferred over. And on the PlayStation, it's just going to be a zombie with an E, I believe, just like zombie.
No, I believe it's zombie on both, but neither has the E, so they can copyright the name.
I think on just the Xbox one is going to be has the U taken off though.
I thought all of them, it just was ZombiU. They just erased the last letter.
Yeah, that's what I saw too.
And he's like, done. Dust off his hands.
It says in Taiwan, because it says in Taiwan, for PlayStation, it says ZombiU in Taiwan, but with the U is cut off on official listings for the Xbox One release, on sites where people can pre-order the...
Yeah, it should be worth noting, Pew, when it was done that for Taiwan, it was ZombiU there. It was ZombiU as well on some of the sites that were putting it for the Xbox One before they had the name of Zombie without the U.
Maybe it's Zombi, and it's for the Vita, not the PS.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's going to be weird.
Yeah. They said there's going to be really big changes to it. They're probably going to incorporate the friggin'... What's it called? The
smart glass?
Yeah, the smart glass, or just a tablet, or something. Maybe it wouldn't be even any smartphone or whatever.
Yeah, that would make it similar. However, I still stand by the fact it's stupid and shouldn't happen, because it's not going to require the smart glass, because I don't think any game actually requires it. They just encourage it, and it's that'll be weird, because it's I don't know, it's like taking a Kinect game, let's say Kinect Sports or whatever, and then porting it to PS4 using the buttons. It's not the same control, it's not the same game. Or porting, say, one of the Move games to the Wii and not using the Wiimote for it. It's not going to be the same if you're playing it with the control pad. And it's like playing ZombiU with the second screen integration and how important that was to the game. It's going to be a completely different... It's not going to be a good game.
It's going to be a completely different game. However, they did say on the PS4 that they're going to try to use the PS4 touchpad for all the button pushing. As in, when I say button pushing, I mean when you had to type in codes or whatever, or press the buttons of to unlock a lock or whatever. They're going to use the touchpad for that stuff.
Yay! Because the touchpad's great.
1, 2, 3, 4, 2, I don't know, whatever, doing a phone stuff or whatever.
Yeah, I don't mind the touchpad for some stuff, but yeah, some stuff it's really bad on. If you have to draw on it, sometimes it doesn't do it accurately.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does it about as accurately as Kinect read my actions when I was trying to play fucking... What the fuck was that? Fighter Within.
Oh, yeah.
No, Zoo Tycoon, it read my actions. More on that later.
Yeah, so that's gonna be super fun. Yay!
Yeah. So over to Victor for his first bit of news.
Okay, just a little bit. This was pretty much all the information that I saw in it, but Stacy won't like this. But Lab Zero Games, the people that made Skullgirls, announced that they are working on a new action RPG called Indivisible. And I do like action RPGs, and Skullgirls has like some of the best animation ever in a game, so I'm really looking forward to see what that looks like.
At least the tits to the face might be invisible, so maybe I'll be able to tolerate it.
Nah.
No, it's called that because it's in the same continuity and universe as Invisimals on the PSP and Vita.
I should play that game.
I wanted to when it was like augmented reality.
Yeah.
Visually,
I bought that
it's
dirt
pleasing.
cheap to get the PSP camera, and I think I used the camera once just to make sure it worked, but I never actually got around to playing the game.
Like, normally I don't mind characters like thrusting their boobs in my face, but man, that just takes it to a whole nother level.
Fair enough. Then I believe it's my first bit of news. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. My first bit of news is Minecraft Story, the trailer hit. And before we discuss the trailer, it's worth noting this has an all-star cast, as they've talked about it more. Like it's got Patton Oswalt as the voice actor, as the lead voice actor. It also features Brian Posehn, Ashley Johnson, Scott Porter, Martha Pilton, Dave Fenney, Corey Feldman, Billy West, and Paul. I hope I'm saying this one right. Rubens. Paul Rubens.
Pee Wee Herman.
Ah, okay.
Paul Rubens. Yeah, I believe that's Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
And this game just got real creepy.
Corey Feldman.
Yeah, I know. That was the start. That is okay. I'm not sure.
Kevin Bruner, CEO and co-founder of Telltale Games, said, "As Jess, players will steer their own path through a tale of adventure and survival, all brought to life by an all-star cast. Through Telltale's choice-based gameplay, a story spanning from the Nether to the Far Lands, the End and beyond. We can't wait for fans to experience this new take on the beloved world of Minecraft."
As soon as he mentioned that, he had me sold on Patton Oswalt. I'm like, I don't even give a shit about the rest. Like, I love his friggin' stand-up. It's so good. Just give me him and put anybody else there and fucking just fuck around with Minecraft. I don't give a shit. It's gonna be great.
I will admit, like I was saying to you, I wasn't overly sold on this game. Because I'm like, I like the Minecraft graphics from Minecraft because you're building and it's all bricks and it reminds me very much Lego-y. But making everything this blocky for a Telltale game, using the Telltale humor and story, I'm like, well, I'll just play Tales of Monkey Island or any of their other ones, like Tales of Boarderlands, or you know what I mean? It's like I don't think Minecraft needed this.
It didn't need it. It's this.
But the trailer did look
nobody
fun.
asked for.
Yeah, the trailer did look fun though. But what did you think on the cast and the trailer, Rick?
I don't know. I agree that I don't really think it's necessary. It doesn't feel very Minecrafty. It feels like coattail writing, which I don't think Telltale needs, which is weird. But I mean, I guess it just feels weird. It's like, we got an all-star cast. Be like, really? Why? Like,
Because otherwise, no one would want it.
oh, I'm pretty sure there'd be. I don't know. Really? So like, Patton Oswalt is in it, and you're just like, sign me up. And is that why you bought Agents of Shield? Both.
I'd pay like at least like $20 to see him or like at his performances. So I'd buy a game with him in it.
So you bought Agents of Shield then?
What?
Season 1.
Oh, if it wasn't on was it not Netflix or it was on something, but I watched it.
No, you still got
Totally
paid for it. You said you'd buy it.
No, you said you'd buy it. Watching it on Netflix is not buying it.
Well, technically, my mom was the one who has Netflix, and I pay for the Amazon Prime, so she can watch those. So we both put our money together, so we both have.
But that's not buying it. That's like if Richter said, "Hey, I just bought a new game." You did? Yeah, I rented it from Redbox. That's not buying it. Hence why when Richter does get Redbox games, he says, "I rented it."
Anyway, Patton Oswalt's awesome.
Yeah, the Minecraft thing, like I said, it looks weird. I'll admit, there's one part about it I could make the case is Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
Minecraft is all about building your own world, and this is shaping your world with your choices. However, yeah, this did not need to be made.
I don't know. Like, I already play that because a lot of times, like a creeper will blow me up, and I'm just like, Richter will remember this. Like, I'm not friendly with Ghasts. I hate them because I remember them. So I'm guessing they're playing a Telltale game with me.
Yeah, they are. I like to think Richter's Life is a Telltale game.
That's
a dialogue bog whenever it barks whenever he speaks.
If it auto saves and never ends, that's exactly how marriage is. You got to pick a response in every situation, and it might not be right. But you can't go back and change it.
I just imagine like
will remember this.
Yes.
like a little dialogue box, like
That
go
is
to
how it
bed,
works.
you know,
Yep.
brush your teeth.
Yeah, it's like, nah, I think you gotta go sleep on the couch. It's like persuade option. No, it's okay. I'm sorry. Gotta raise your persuade. Sometimes intimidate. You know, do that with like younger kids. Like, go to your room.
Yeah, and if she gets really angry and throws plates, it's like their quick time dodge games.
They are.
Yeah, like I said, this just seems weird. Although I do know people like my niece and nephew who have already asked for the season pass for it for Christmas.
There's a season pass?
It's a Telltale game.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking DLC or whatever, but it just comes out in episodes, because I just think of all those games as like one whole complete thing.
Yeah, but you have to buy the season pass to get all the episodes.
Yeah. That's how I think of it, because usually I just buy it all in one.
Unless it's Walking Dead season 1, then they release an extra episode that you don't get in your season pass, because fuck.
Yeah! But yeah, usually I just buy them all at once. I don't even think of them as like, they're just one complete multi-parted thing.
But number 2, take us away, Pew, with your second bit of news.
Alright, I believe you were looking forward to this one.
Dun dun dun.
So, CEO Hajime Satomi believes he betrayed the company of Sega, and he's sorry and asks his fans for forgiveness for the last few years of Sonic games. He's trying to re-establish the Sega brand.
The Nintendo brand of Sonic.
Anyway, so re-establish the brand and restore the faith in the Sega community.
Sadly, I'm going to make the case, sadly, he will never restore the brand.
Okay.
Because when you say to someone, how are the Sonic games? If they say terrible, if you say to them, cool, okay, so what were the worst parts of Sonic Generations, Sonic Colors, or Sonic Lost World? They won't answer because they never play them. Thus, when a good one comes out, the people who think like that are just always going to say, no, it's shit.
Please tell me that when the reason he came to this decision was Arrow busted into his apartment, and he's like, you have failed this, Sega.
He did it dressed as Sonic Man from Sonic 06 with a blue hoodie. He's like, you have failed this, hedgehog.
And then he was shot with the arrow and rings came out of him.
And they're like, don't you have places to be? No, his daddy's dead.
They did say that...
Was that too harsh? Or too soon?
You may... I don't know. The way he says this scares me, or at least, has ill will in it. It says, I believe that if we can't maintain quality, it would be better to not release anything at all.
I actually agree with that.
I've said that before now. It's like Duke Nukem Forever. If that hadn't been released, the Duke Nukem brand wouldn't be how it is now. The second it got released, it hurt it tremendously. Almost to the point people have seemed to, whenever you bring up Duke Nukem, that's all they remember. People don't seem to remember all the good ones before. You're only as good as your last game.
That's true.
And he says Sega in the 90s was known for its brand, but after that we lost our way and we lost the trust. We'd like to win back the trust and become that amazing brand once again that was in the 90s.
You say we'd like to win back the trust and become frenemies?
No, like we would like to win back the trust. We like to win back the trust and become that brand that they were in the 90s once again.
Okay, release a console.
I was gonna say take the Shining the Holy Ark or whatever, like those games and some of the like RPGs and freaking Panzer Dragoon's Saga, and put them up on the digital download store of Xbox and PlayStation. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh my god, I just thought something.
And Phantasy Star Online 2. Damn it, I said it there.
That'd be awesome, but I just thought something.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if Sega helped Nintendo build their next console. So you had all the innovation of the Sega consoles with the first-party games of the Nintendo consoles. Boom.
I don't know if I could buy that.
I'd have to.
My brain couldn't understand that.
You guys
I'd just be like,
would
no, this is not how this works. No, and I would just lock myself in a room and write on the wall, no.
I just
That is the
imagine
appropriate
Rick
reaction.
shaking as all like his SNES games fall off his shelf behind him as he's going, no! From
That's
his
the
chair.
appropriate reaction to something I'm about to tell you. They said Sega in an interview. Sega seems to be transitioning away from console games and moving more towards the PC and mobile market.
No,
So
wait, actually.
you're gonna have PC and mobile Sonic games. That's the way.
We already have.
No, but like that's like where they're gonna move like more towards and less you know.
They've mentioned that in the past. They're moving more towards that market a bit because let's face it, that market is huge right now. But they
Especially
said they're
in Japan.
still, and they said they're still going to make stuff for the consoles. It's just not going to be as often because here's the thing. You know why loads of games have shitloads of DLC that charges you twice the amount? It's because the only games that are in the top 10 sold that year spend fucking millions to make those games, which means smaller people like Sega now can't afford to compete with like look at Activision putting shitloads of money behind Destiny or Call of Duty. Or look at the Rockstar doing it with Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, there's a season pass that means you're buying the game twice because they have to do that to get their money back as well. But as a result, people look at like the smaller games, like the Sega games, and they're like, I don't want them because it's like we said, everything nowadays is all either big, massive budget or indie. There's no room for the small companies anymore, sadly.
They're about to announce something really big at the home consoles panel at the Tokyo Game Show. So we'll have to look forward to see what that is.
Game Gear 2.
The Sonic CD player.
Don't know. I'm guessing it is a home console, as it is the home console section of the Tokyo Game Show. That's all I can gather.
I gather it won't be a console. I gather it something like a new Sonic game, possibly on Xbox One, PS4.
Maybe.
But someone in this call will go on by day one.
I'm sorry in advance. Whether or not it's good, I'm gonna feel bad for you.
All the main ones have been good in the last few years.
Yeah, so best of luck to them.
Yep. So over to Rick for his second bit of news.
All right. This bit of news. Yeah. Huh?
On a more cheerful note.
Yeah, I was super excited about this. I don't care that it makes me like a loser, but Bamco or Bandai Namco, whichever you want to call them. What? Announced that they are going to localize Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth for PS4 and the Vita in 2016. I know, I'm so excited, and I'm like, oh yes, and it's in a spiritual successor of sorts to Digimon World. So it's got the RPG mechanics. It's not the massive roster of 12 fighters in a Smash Brothers style game. Which honestly I would have tried, but I was like 12, like anyway. But I really like Digimon World games. First one was anyway. But I'm excited about this because we haven't had a Digimon game since they had that Battler one, and then before that, the one I remember before that was a PS2 game, Digimon World Data Squad, which was crappy. So it's been several years since we've had a Digimon RPG localized outside of Japan, which is awesome. So yeah, that was my second bit.
Oh no. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
I glitched out of most of that then.
Oh, okay.
That's why I heard Richter say it's a spiritual successor of sorts, and then nothing.
Oh.
And I was 12. I'm like, wait, what? What how did I just miss?
And I was what?
I thought you said when you were 12.
No. No, there's the last one besides that arena one that I remember was a PS2 game.
Yeah, isn't this another Digimon World?
Basically, yes. It's looks like similar battle style.
I also thought on one of the sites, or a couple of sites, they mentioned that Digimon Story was the name Digimon World had in Japan.
Mm.
So I'm like, oh, cool. Does that mean when they westernize it, they'll actually be bothered to call it Digimon World Cyber?
I feel like they won't, but I don't know.
I feel they won't.
Which I'm okay with.
I'm okay with that too. I just think Digimon World might help it sell more in the West.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, Digimon is a lot more niche than it used to be, which is saying something. So I'm not sure either would help. And I'm okay with like the titles being in line, so it's easier to remember. The only one that I don't want them to change is Resident Evil, because it sounds so much cooler when the dude says it. Biohazard, I think, is a cooler title, but when you press start, Biohazard doesn't sound as cool as Resident Evil. Like that just sounds way better.
Oh, I completely agree. I've mentioned in the past, Resident Evil was a much better name for that first game.
Mm-hmm.
However, the Japanese title is a much better one for the sequels.
Yeah.
Because they're no longer in a house.
Yeah.
Resident Evil. But we're on a street. We're not a resident here. Resident nearby.
Residence Evil. You can't just pluralize. Fine, whatever. Just shake your head.
Why not? I worked for Silent Hills. Oh, wait, no.
Yeah, it really worked for them.
We're terrible people making that joke.
I'm okay attacking the internet and its weak points.
I blame Pew.
Okay.
What?
I'll go with that. Well, Marcus isn't here. We have to blame somebody.
Yeah. But
poor Pew Pew.
I can't believe I should have swapped my news around. But are you ready for my second bit of news?
Yes.
Activision has announced the Peanuts movie, Snoopy's Grand Adventure, will be releasing on PS4, Xbox One, Wii U, 360, and 3DS on November 6th. It's a side-scrolling platformer. It's been developed to release alongside the upcoming Peanuts movie, which is also out later this year. Gameplay will revolve around Snoopy tracking down Charlie Brown and other Peanuts characters in an elaborate game of hide and seek. As he traverses various different worlds, Snoopy will undercover costumes based on his various different guises from Peanuts' 65-year history, each of which will imbue him with unique skills like the ability to fly. Co-op play allows a second gamer to jump in as Woodstock, distracting foes and opening up new paths in a similar vein to the recent Rayman games. And I gotta say, the trailer for this kicked ass. No, I don't think anyone saw the trailer.
No, sounds like one of those ones we were talking about, like Cool Spot or whatever.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, like he's going through on the trailer. He's going through and it shows off his costumes and stuff. But he goes through and it looks very Mario-esque, like New Super Mario Brothers style, like 2.5D-ish. So it matches the new film, and I'm like, I want this. This looks really cool. I don't know why. But on a less disturbing note, on to our catch-up section. And catching us up first this week will be Richter.
All right. First game I played was some more Dead Rising 3. I was working on the DLCs because I think those are single player. Excuse me. I did the first one, which was I forget the name of it, but you play as like a soldier dude that goes in and basically you kidnap. I guess slight spoiler for the game. Not like it really matters. It was a minor scene, but you go to kidnap the president, And Mole, you may remember the scene where like they put the zombie parasite worm in the president to turn her into a zombie.
Yep.
It's basically the guy that goes to get her for that. And then
nice.
And then, so it's like a little side quest, but it makes you go to like all the islands and do I'm trying to remember his collectible. It was something, and it's fairly short, not too bad. And then I started the other one where I think it's called Fallen Angel, where you play as Angel something or other. I don't know, some sassy tattooed drunk girl who is one of the survivors. Oh, I should note one thing that I thought was funny, real quick, for the soldier guy, was one of the things he has to do is you infect the safe houses. So, like, I assume that's why when you're playing the proper Dead Rising 3 game, you have to clear out the safe houses to make them usable, because this asshole goes dumps the worms through the ventilation.
Nice.
But
I love the idea of the DLC when they're all listed as the side stories. So I'm like, oh, okay, they accompany the main story from the sounds of it in a proper side story way. And I'm like, that's cool. It's not just like, I don't know, when some of the other DLCs are like, this is a side story, like, this is completely unrelated.
But then the one with the girl, she's one of the survivors and goes to get supplies and stuff. That one, the collectibles are like kind of annoying because there's one she has to burn propaganda posters, so you need to use like fire. So I use the basically it's the assault rifle plus shotgun combo because it does fire, and it takes a couple shots. But it can be annoying because sometimes guys get in the way. So you're like shooting them, and you're like, just shoot the poster. Like, I wish I could rip it down like Assassin's Creed, where you ran by and hit the button and you just tear a poster down.
Spitfire.
Yeah, I don't think I can get that out of the locker, though, can I?
I thought it was a food thing.
Yeah, but did those come out of the... Can you get those from the locker? Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's... yeah, there's a couple things to do it, but it's like sometimes it'll be like higher up. I don't know if a Spitfire should hit it, but I'm not sure. But also the guy that's helping her, like every, I don't know, couple minutes, he like reminds you that you're supposed to be doing something, which gets really annoying. He's like, "Hey, Angel, did you go get the food yet?" And I'm just like, "Shut up! I'm trying. I'm like, I'm picking up medical supplies because I want to."
Yeah. Sounds like that. Sounds like those were designed for the flaming crossbow. So you could stand back somewhere far and just go up.
That would be nice. What's just weird is like the soldier one, like I guess because he was kind of in charge, the only time anyone was talking to him was like during the story stuff. There wasn't a guy, not so politely reminding you to do the quest. And
did he at least have a cousin asking him if he wants to go bowling?
You should have.
Every game needs that.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, come on, you think that would be amazing? Like Legend of Zelda, you're like fighting Ganondorf and suddenly you hear, "Hey Zelda, it's your cousin. Would you like to go bowling?" Which is a double joke because he's not Zelda.
Apparently now he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully, I'm still gonna like finish that one, but I think I might try the third and fourth before going back to hers. I don't know why. It's pretty much very similar to the soldiers. There's just like minor differences that really irk the crap out of me.
Yeah, like, I can imagine that person being like, "Hey, have you done your mission yet? Hey, have you done your mission yet?" Would get really fucking irritating. I hate that on games, especially if you're trying to do some side stuff.
Yeah, especially if it's a game like that, like in GTA.
Yeah.
Oh man, you're like, oh. But she does have one really cool weapon. It's one of the DLC weapons. I forget what it's called, but it's basically a cattle prod, but it freezes them.
Nice.
And it's like really good for like groups because just like mash the button and she'll stab and break them, stab and break them, stab and break them. It's not good for like. Well, I mean, it's like it's good on groups because it's really quick, but it doesn't hit an area, so you just have to like mash it. But it's kind of neat. And also, if you freeze a lot and then you get the combo kill, and you do the one where she swings a dude around, she just like break like 10 of them while swinging the guy around and then throw him. So like the weapons you get from that one are cool, but so far the soldier one's is better. So we'll see with the other two.
Yeah. And, I could see that getting irritating. Like on the other Dead Risings, even the third one a little bit, although not as often. I kept getting annoyed every time my phone rang. I'm like, fuck off. I'm surrounded by zombies and you said you can watch me at all times. You should know when it's convenient.
At least I think you can answer it in the middle. I remember the first one, he like had to hold up a hand with the phone, so like you couldn't fight, and he did like the call when you were surrounded. So you like answer the phone, and you're like, and you can't defend yourself, so you're trying to run away. And if you do defend yourself or whatever, he gets mad at you for hanging up. Oh my god, I wanted to kill that janitor. Otis, I think his name was.
Yep. And like I said with the phone, it's like he mentions when you see him the first time. Yeah, I'm watching you at all times, so I'll call you when I know it's convenient. No, you won't. You'll call me when you know I'm surrounded by zombies. Because you're a dick. That's why, spoiler, when we escaped, I'm glad you didn't come with us. Oh, did you watch me leave? Did you see me stick the middle finger up from the plane?
That would be amazing. It's like, oh, just a second there, Nick. I'm on my way. He mouths, okay, and then just takes off.
Just a second, Nick. I'm almost there as long as nothing distracts me. And he's like, what? What's going on? I'm surrounded by zombies. Why are you phoning me now? Not nice, is it? What? Just as the zombies rip him apart.
Yes.
Okay, I may have murdered someone, but I think what's more important is he learned a valuable lesson.
Fraction kill.
Dead Rising always brings out the best.
I know, right? The other game I played was Samurai Warriors Chronicles 3, which is on Vita, which is well, it's also on 3DS, I guess, but I know, right?
I had to.
But it's in the Chronicles line, obviously, of Samurai Warriors, where it's like you make your own character and play through basically the history as your creative character, which is pretty cool.
Like vampires.
Yes. Yeah, except like with an actual, instead of, it's less freeform, but it's more, I don't use that term. But, it has the actual battle, so it's not like you try to take over, you're just like in their army.
Yeah, you mean this one follows a story, whereas Empires doesn't really. Which isn't a bad thing, both have their places.
Yeah. No, I like that part of it. You get the multiple people per battle, which is cool, until you realize that they count on that. So like a lot of times they're like, oh, go kill these guys. You're like, okay, and you're going to kill it, and it's like, go kill these guys. And you're like, ah. So you send like one of the other people over there, and you have to like switch between them, and they like know that. So a lot of times they give you stuff at opposite ends of the map, which like you can deal with it, but it's kind of annoying to like pause and tell them to go this way, because the AI for the people you're not controlling is at times it's great and it'll go right where you want it, and then sometimes you're like, why are you running the opposite direction? So you like kind of have to babysit them and then just accept the fact that half the time they're going to do what you wanted them to anyway, because it's better that way than to just be like, why are you over But it's also it uses this or at least something similar to the Samurai Warriors 4 engine, so they do have the hyper attack where you just dash through the dudes, which is I really liked.
Oh my god. Getting to wipe through waves of people, yet still having to be like, oh, pick up your stuff, now go do this. It's sad Warriors.
There you go. But yeah, it's pretty fun so far. I'm liking it. It's like I said, yeah, it's kind of weird to use it's cool to use multiple people, but also can be obnoxious. So that, like I wish there was like some battles or modes or whatever where it's like you just pick the one person, or it like is gauged for that. So if you use multiple, it's like maybe it's like a focus on a guy to increase their level would be nice. But yeah, that's what I played this week. Did I cut out or?
Not for me.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully that made it still counted on the recording.
Hopefully.
Really pull the Molly? Or did he just disappear?
Maybe.
No, he's still there. Oh yeah, I forgot we could do the typing thing.
I know, right? I forget too because it's weird.
Oh, I hear people.
Hey!
Yes, there we go. Oh, did it cut out again?
Yeah, it keeps doing it. No, I'll probably restart it after this so we can game. But I was gonna say, yeah, I could see swapping to one person because some tag-style fighting games have had a classic mode where you can have one-on-one.
Yeah.
But I believe it's over to Pew unless she was already speaking.
Oh, I was gonna say what games I played anyway if you weren't coming back, or at least took longer. Yeah. So 2 games I played this week. First, J-Stars. That's really fun.
Love it.
It's really fun, even though I don't know a lot of characters. Like I have fun like making up who they are in my mind, or describing them to people who do know what they are. That's really fun.
I saw that squid dude you mentioned.
He's fucking terrifying with his like Walmart smile face and like I don't know, and he turns colors when you hit him. Like
I don't know why he's a teacher. Like I almost want to know more about him, but I'm also very scared. It seems like that he shouldn't be allowed within, I don't know, 300 feet of schools, maybe?
yeah.
Oh, that's a bit mean. We all know he went there, got his degree at the school, taught there a little bit, and in his off time, he's Octodad. That's not true, but I'd like it to be.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with that. I like the move set and stuff. I like that I can do that thing to make Ichigo put on his mask. That's cool.
Yeah, the stamina thing, I love that. Puts his mask on, or Goku goes Super Saiyan after a certain point.
Yeah.
The other character that Marcus likes of Hihei, I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little kid that's not as good as Ichigo with a sword goes and does his eyes, and I'm like, yay. He goes
like
and does eyes, and I'm like, yay, if you have a transformation. Like, a girl I like goes doom and gets pink hair.
Oh, I saw that dude you were talking about. The ridiculously fucking discount Goku.
Yeah, well, ironically, Goku's now a discount him when he's beyond Super Saiyan.
Well, like, just
to beat a
what little I've seen on that guy, he looks like he's a merging of 2 other characters. Like, he looks like Goku, but it seems he partially fights like this other guy that's not in the game, but it just makes me laugh, and I'm like, this guy could be cool, but he seems like a fanfic character.
What was his name?
Toriko, I think.
Yeah, I don't know where he was from, but he seems like he might be from one of the parody ones.
Could be. He's like a cook or something. I just started his
nice
story mode.
Ah, you started his. Nice.
Why I had started Naruto's, and then I was like, oh, I want to see what the other teams, like who they get on their team. And that guy gets Goku and some scrubby dude from his show. Discount Zangief.
Ichigo gets Hihei and the guy with the baby.
Yeah, and his like Final Smash or whatever is like it's basically what it is. Is like he like and the baby turn into one person, and like he gets fairy wings, and then like shit happens. It's like fucking weird.
Please write that on the back of the box.
Yeah.
Official description.
He
does his Final Smash with the baby, they become one, and he gets like fucking fairy wings.
Edit his wiki now.
Like they just become one being, and like because he's like some kind of son of a demon or something, and his daddy pissed off or whatever, and fucked off, and he takes care of him now.
Yeah, like I said, I like that game, and even the characters I don't know, I'm like, I still kind of like them. Admittedly, I'm maining as Ichigo, but I still like the others. I thought I'd be maining as Vegeta, but thanks to that adventure mode, I've gotten so used to playing as Ichigo. And it's even funnier on my team where it's like, ooh, you have to be someone who's not Ichigo. I'm like, oh, I don't want to be not Ichigo.
That's how I was feeling. I was like, oh, I have to be Hiei or the kid or the baby thing or,
Yeah, that's what I said when I was Hihei, which Marcus watched on the thing of, oh, cool, I'm that kid. And like Mark said, he wanted to scream, it's Hihei! And I'm like, I don't know, all I care about is he's not Ichigo when I'm playing.
Yeah, but you have to realize that if you saw someone playing and they're like, who the hell is this guy? Why does he have orange hair? I want to play as Hiei. You'd be like, that's Ichigo! You don't disrespect him!
I would let that go.
Really?
Yes. Mainly because of the type of game it is. Like, I know people who, when I, like Crispy, for example, when we were playing on Smash Brothers, didn't know some of the characters. And I'm like, okay. Same thing with one of my other friends when I was playing, what the hell was it? That All-Stars, PlayStation All-Stars. He was like, who the hell is this little Sack dude? I wanted to go, it's Sackboy! But I'm like, no, it's cool. This is the type of game it is. There's going to be people you don't know.
Yeah, it's really cool. Although I didn't like that I had to go fucking everywhere to get some yogurt for the stupid baby, and then he didn't eat the yogurt because like this freaking bitch at Castlevania or whatever was like, yo, you can't give like it looked like a fucking castle, I don't know, but she was like, you can't give a yogurt that you just found on the ground to like a baby, and I'm like, fuck you, I worked hard, I had to sail across the fucking ocean to get this yogurt, he's gonna fucking eat it. Like, you know, and she's like, oh, you can't. We'll let you in the castle anyway because you did all the hard work. And I'm like, no, I want to see him fucking eat it. Like, what? Yeah. It was just like things like that. It was funny though because there was like other characters, and then there was God, I can't remember names of people from Beach. Cat chick that transforms, and yes, and stuffed animal icon dude.
Cone.
See, names. See, I have to keep watching it, like, because if I go like 2 days without it, I just can't remember the names. I just see the faces.
Yeah, fair enough. Which, yeah, I haven't done any of the other adventure modes. Besides, I did Luffy's temporarily, and that was just to when Crispy was here, because I was way far in Ichigo, so the game was getting hard on it. Also to show him the tutorial, because that's the only way in this game to get a tutorial is J Adventure. So I'm like, well, here you go. You have to pad and do the tutorial, get used to playing, and then we'll start playing. Which, that's kind of fun.
Who does he get on his team? Do you remember?
He
gets
remember.
Ace from his and somebody else. I think the kid from Hunter x Hunter, maybe that. No, I think that is him.
Yeah, I think it might be him. It might be him. I remember most of the time with the teams, I ended up being that woman I mentioned that went boom with the pink hair. I don't know if he recruited her later.
It's interesting hearing Ichigo describe everybody's like spiritual pressure or whatever. Because you're like, there's big spiritual pressure because Goku or something. Or...
See, I love the fact they did that.
I like it, yeah.
Of like Ichigo's like a spiritual pressure, and when you go through the portal, the Soul Society is next to this like hell castle, and it's like, okay, so this is like the underworld or afterlife thing, and then it's like, and they've mixed all the stuff together in a way that I'm like, this is actually a really cool way of putting stuff together.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I also love it when Ichigo's like, but I didn't feel any spiritual pressure from you. And one of the guys mentioned, but he doesn't have spiritual pressure. He's not a spirit. And Ichigo's like, but you're supposed to still give off spiritual pressure. And he's like, not in my world. I'm like, that's cool.
Thanks.
It is a little weird seeing Ichigo a little mellow throughout the story mode. Like, he's more the level-headed one of his group. I'm always used to hot-headed Ichigo.
Yeah.
Like, he never called anyone a bastard.
It's true. You didn't call anybody a bastard.
You're gonna return it then?
Yeah, I guess so. No.
Excuse me, this game is wrong.
Yeah, this game's wrong. Goku has like a high-pitched voice, yeah. Frieza has a deep one. What the hell's wrong with that? Clearly, the voice files have been messed up.
Yes.
The other game that I played was Borderlands. I played I played both of them, but I played mostly the pre-sequel, and I checked out the DLC for the Tales thing. I don't know if you want to know like what the DLC for the Tales stuff is.
You can mention it.
Okay. I don't know if you wanted to keep it a surprise or whatever, because I read somewhere at a forum or whatever. It's like, don't tell me, that'll ruin the surprise. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, to me that's not a surprise, because it's gonna be probably like a weapon or an item or a clothing.
No, it's like, yeah,
it's gonna be one of the normal stuff.
It's gonna be clothing, where I thought was really cool, because one of them is like it's like a head or whatever, but it's just Reese's eye, so like his blue like eye or something.
Nice.
Like, that's really fucking cool. and the claptrap has like that little like what do you call it? It's like one of those like freaking Chinese hats or whatever, but like that dude has like the vault dude who like pushes them around, you know? At the very beginning, like he forces Reese and the chick to like recall their whole tale. He has like that funny hat on.
I know what you mean, but I don't know the name of the hat.
It's basically just like a Chinese hat, except it's metal. Like, you know, like one of those stereotypical, like, kind of open ones. You know? Yeah, it's just like an open cone or whatever. That's basically what it is, except it's metal and for claptrap.
Nice.
And also, I learned that the Duchess character, she is a descendant of that Hammer dudes or Hammerlock or whatever. The dude has like no real parts left, except maybe his like head or maybe a leg or something.
A hammer guy where we only know his head. Who could that be?
It's that dude. He has like one messed up glasses and a crazy mustache and a hat.
Sir Hammerlock, yes.
No, I was making the joke, Pew, of the hammer dude who we only know his head. That would be Richter.
Oh, ha! But yeah, but you get pretty much his head on her body, which I thought was really funny, considering, you know, like her like tits are out there and whatever, and like he just fucking his head is on her, like, psh, like okay. Like nobody asked for this, I don't think, but sure, why the fuck not?
Be honest, Richter, you'd be tempted to do that if you're playing as that. You'd be tempted to run around every time a guy's like, "Whoa, you look hot," turn around and go, "It's a trap." with your man head.
Yeah, so that is pretty funny.
Nice.
I really like the Baroness, because like I thought like at first I wasn't in all about the ice powers or whatever, but like every time I get attacked, like when my shield's full, they get ice shot at them and they get frozen and everybody's freaking frozen, so I just bitch slap them and then they fall apart. So like I feel pretty like untouchable.
Nice.
So I really actually am liking her whole ice thing. So that's cool. Yeah. And I like how it says I'm playing the Handsome Collection, like on there, so you don't know which game I'm actually playing. Like, are they playing the pre-sequel? Are they playing Borderlands 2? I don't know.
Are you sure?
It's mysterious. Yeah, so
No,
I thought that was funny.
I was asking, are you sure? Because I wasn't sure, because some games like that will say the Handsome Collection, and when you're in one, it'll actually be the longer version, will say the game in the chapter sometimes.
I know
but
it just says
I don't know if that does.
I know it just says the Handsome Collection, but it might, like in small text somewhere, say the actual one.
Oh, I was thinking while you were playing, it might say it on, you know, like the full bar.
Oh no! Well, on my screen, when it says like if I'm closing out or something, it says just the Handsome Collection. Imagine if you like, you know, like looked further into it or something, it would like have in like the white scrolling text, it would say which game or something.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, like on the friends list underneath it shows what they were playing. I wasn't sure, because some games do that. Not all, but some collections do that.
Yeah. But it's pretty cool.
In my two games this week. First up, I was playing Halo, the Master Chief Collection. And I will say in advance, just to let Richter know, they removed a feature we were kind of looking forward to. There's no custom playlists.
Oh, okay.
There used to be. Apparently, they removed that in one of the update patches because what was happening with the matchmaking was people were trying to match up and still do this campaign with people matching up with playlists, doing the same chapters, and it was confusing it and costing matchmaking.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds weird. They should have programmed their shit better, like playlists, and then obviously campaign. It would have been simpler, but no. I do love the fact, I don't know if you've seen it or not, Rick, I did tweet it so you can check out how to restart my internet if you want later. If you press the square button, I need to know what that button's actually called. Is that the menu button or is that the options?
Oh. Select, I guess?
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
When you said square, it's like you double tap the square. Like I thought you meant the X button. I was like, I get you.
Yeah, the two squares like select. On some
Yeah.
games it's listed as menu, other games it's listed as options, and I'm confused.
Mm,
But basically, that one, it swaps to the original Halo graphics,
nice.
which is funny because the invisible dudes with the light swords,
Mm-hmm.
Crispy noticed if you swap to the original Halo, they have a better outline so you can see them easier.
Nice.
Whereas otherwise, you just see like Predator effect slightly,
Right.
but you can't really see them. You just see a
Right.
sword hovering in the air, and I'm like, oh crap, every time. And I hate those hunters, the ones with like who are just, I know, they just eat through all my bullets. I'm like, oh, die already. I've done some stupid epic kills, and I say epic kills as in epic failures. Of like one of my ones, which I think I tweeted, is an epic failure. You see Crispy going to sneak up on, one of the big blue dudes, to do like the dump and stealth him while we're in a really small, compact thing. You don't see it on the clip, but I did say to him over Skype, I've got this. And right as he goes to do it, you just see me fire my rocket launcher. He dies, the monster dies, and I go flying backwards into the wall dead. That's why I posted that as, sorry team, my bad. But it's been pretty fun. And they did add 3 modes from Halo 4, which I think Rick's played Halo 4. I assume he has.
No, I have not played 4.
They have the mode on Halo 4 you may like.
Mm-hmm.
Under multiplayer, you can co-op it or do it on your own. It sounds like a horde mode.
The like firefight, I think they called it.
I think so, and I'm like, that's cool. And I'm equally annoyed, slightly, by something in the Master Chief Collection, which I will have to say right here. It's in my hands. I know Richter said in the past it might not be, but as it says here, you know the code to get the Halo Nightfall?
Okay.
The Halo channel is an all-new interactive digital network at Xbox One, home to Halo Nightfall and so much more from the Halo universe. Halo. Oh, sorry, that's the German one. To redeem it, what you do is, when the download is complete, launch the Halo channel under My Games and Apps. When the Halo channel loads, open the guide by pressing the View button on your controller. Guessing that might be what the button's called, View.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And then navigate to Originals and select Halo Nightfall. So yeah, this code allows you to watch it on the Halo channel. Shouldn't they have given you the fucking download of the film to watch?
Yes.
On the plus side, it was on one of those... Oh, what the hell is it called? Is it on here? Enter the 12-digit... Oh, it's not telling me what it's called. Is it UR code?
Oh, QR?
QR, it might be that, yeah, QR. It does have one of those, thank God. So all I have to do is go to my camera. Nice. I hate those 25-digit codes.
Yep.
Speaking of 25-digit codes, I got lucky and I found a site that... Do you remember when I said Zoo Tycoon got cancelled in the post, Rick?
Oh, no, did it?
Yeah, it got cancelled and they said you could... It was buy one, get one free, and they said the offer was still valid, but basically what they were going to do is let me pick any of the free games to pick as a standalone buying it one.
Mm-hmm.
And they would give me like 50% off that game, so I chose Fighter Within. I only saved like £2.50, but it's still £2.50 spent on it more than I should have. But and I basically I found a site in the UK that was selling Zoo Tycoon half price on the fucking download code. So I was like, okay, and just bought that and downloaded the game. And I was like, yay! Nice. And it all equaled out to about the same price as what I was going to pay it anyway, if not a little cheaper. So I'm like, yay. But Zoo Tycoon, that's the second game I played this week. I did stream it and Pew watched.
That was fun. There was baby hippos.
I like this game. Basically, you got a tycoon view. There's like I probably mentioned the modes. There's like challenge mode where you can do challenges as you're progressing through a never-ending game. Secondly is freeform where you can do whatever the hell you like with unlimited money. Third is campaign. I've played challenge and free form in the stream a little bit. But basically, while you're playing it, you've got two views. You have Tycoon view, where you place stuff down, and Zookeeper view, where you go inside and explore. And while you're exploring, you can take photos of the animals to fill up your photo gallery, which is fucking awesome. I love photography in games, as people know. You can also do stuff like interact with the animals, and if you've got Connect, like I do, you can do stuff like you reach forward, you grab an apple, you hold it out, and out of your hand, a giraffe or an elephant or an antelope or whatever it's called eats out of your hand. And I'm like, that's awesome. Right. That is awesome. I got to feed them. And there's another one where you play as monkey see, monkey do, where you do the actions and the monkey copies the actions of what your body's meant to be doing. Mm-hmm. You can also zoom in and then it shows your face in the game, and say like it does a wink and you go and you wink. Connect sees you winking and the monkey goes and winks back, or pulls a smile if you smile, or goes if you go and I'm like, that's really fun. There's also stuff in there like, oh no, all your animals have become really sick. This is just like a bonus challenge. They're not actually sick, but you can do this challenge. You have to get in a buggy and drive them and give them all medicine by driving around like a race around the zoo you've created. And I'm like, that's cool as hell. And yeah, like I said, the Tycoon mode's fun. It's a lot simpler than a normal Tycoon game. It should be worth noting. However, I will make the case as a counterpoint to that. Who here has played a Tycoon game? Or a management sim like Sim City or something in their life?
Yeah.
Long time ago, yeah.
How many times did you enter money cheats?
All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't mind it being easy because you can't enter cheats. And I'm like, everyone who plays these games normally enters some sort of money cheat or something. It's part of the fun. This one's just made it easier to the point now. My zoo that I've got on challenge mode is just completely self-sufficient. Like, it keeps increasing in viewers, and it keeps increasing in cash, and nothing can go wrong. Mm-hmm. Well, things can go wrong, but I can easily fix them. But
yeah, like your whole zoo could be filled up with shit, and you gotta clean it up. Yeah,
you have to clean the poo as well out of some cages. Or, as I found out, if you put another zookeepers right near those, the zookeepers actually clean out the poo for you. It was just those animals were way far away from my zookeepers. Mm. But yeah, Zoo Tycoon, it's really fun. The downside, I will say, to the game is it was like a 2-point-something gigabyte download. Really? That means this is really a small game. However, if you don't need Connect to play it, is worth noting you can use the control pad. But I would say this game is really fun. If anyone likes management games or anything like that, you should totally check out Zoo Tycoon, because I worry that because it was a launch title on a pretty failing system, and B, it was using Connect, which people were like, boo, we don't want that, so they took it out the system. I feel like as a result, people will look at this and go, oh, it was a launch Connect game. This has got nothing for me. And I feel like it's going to be passed up. It shouldn't be. This is oddly fun. It's maybe one of my favourite games this gen.
Nice.
Woo!
So now to our topic. And our topic is spiritual successors. I don't know why I did spiritual. But you've been on around, you've been on around the pound before now. Whenever anyone says the title of the thing, they always try to do some sort of stupid voice that ruins the effect of what the title is. I just figured let's uniform our whole series. So spiritual successor. Sorry, or if you're Pew, spiritual successor or whatever.
There you go.
But yeah, this is spiritual successors. There's been a lot over the years. It's been brought up because there's more that been listed as spiritual successors nowadays, and there's good and there's bad points to them, and we will be discussing that. But one I found out before this, which I was like, okay, I can really see that, especially with the publishers, was Assassin's Creed is a spiritual successor to Prince of Persia, which is awesome because Prince of Persia kicked ass, and the first Assassin's Creed game kicked ass. I mean, it wasn't the best gameplay-wise, but it had the best assassin.
See, I don't like either of those games, but Assassin's Creed 2 was awesome.
He is maybe one of the worst assassins.
I liked him.
I'm kidding. I hate them all that aren't Altair.
Yeah.
That's why I always laugh that they give you what they go out their way to make sure you can get Altair's costume and everyone. I'm like, yeah, thank you. I can put that on and I will do what Rick says. In my head canon, he is Altair.
They're all Altair.
They're all Altair. Altair throughout the century. He's Wolverine. He just doesn't age.
There you go.
Sometimes he changes race, but that's not really him becoming blacker or anything like that. He's just getting tanned.
Except when Revelations was there, you actually played as like old Ezio who couldn't barely or not old Ezio, old Altair who could barely walk with a cane, but could jump and frickin' pounce, assassinate people, but then continue to walk with a cane.
To be fair, that game itself isn't worth playing regardless of that bit, due to the fact they randomly kill his love interest for no reason and shock value.
Oh, even better, and then he doesn't like kill the guy when he has an opportunity. He's like, "I'll kill you later," and I'm like, "No, you have a fucking throwing knife. Throw it." That game. Oh, that. Honestly, after that cutscene, I think is when I stopped. I was like, "This is too dumb. I can't play Revelations."
You know, I'll admit I've started only really playing I started to play the numbered ones. Mainly because I didn't like Brotherhood. Some people do, which is fine. I didn't like I couldn't stand Brotherhood, and I couldn't stand Revelations. Unity was okay after it came out, and they eventually fixed it, so it was a working game. But yeah, I don't like Black Flags. I downloaded it for the Xbox One with the gold. Yeah, it took me 5 minutes to delete that shit. I'm like, no, I'm done with this.
I liked Black Flag.
I like pirates. I don't like any of that combat stuff in that game. Like, the ship combat was horrible.
It is pretty clunky. You have to freaking sail around in circles and watch out for very square foot isolated weather patterns.
Basically, the ship combat in that is exactly like Disney Infinity's Pirates of the Caribbean one, but shitter.
Yeah.
But we're here to talk about spiritual successors, not how Assassin's Creed failed over the years, because otherwise that would be a really long topic. I will just say they need to cross it over. Imagine Rabbids Creed. Just saying.
I wanted to send you the Assassin's Creed Rabbit because it was Altair.
Yay. I like the Rabbids. They're awesome. Hence why earlier today I was playing Rabbids Invasion on Xbox One, and it worked on this one a bit more.
Oh.
There's still parts of it that doesn't, but I don't care. I'm like, Rabbids! And every time when they do something silly, I'm like, oh, you silly little guys, you. I was sad I can't. It looked just like on the PS4 when I can't record gameplay because I'd love to stream that. Because, oh, Rabbids. So yeah, we're here to discuss Rabbids. No, we're here to discuss spiritual successors. Which, yeah, like I said, some spiritual successors like that, I don't mind. I don't like these new ones that are all over Kickstarter and stuff where it's just them copying their existing game. Like, did you see about Platinum Games, and I hope I'm saying this right, Hideki Kayami? Did anyone see about him?
No.
He was on there, and he's not one to hold back his true feelings on anything like that. Whenever anyone asks him anything, he speaks about it. They asked him, how do you think Mighty Number N would be? And he said, it's an insult to their own home. And then someone replied, why? Is it because it's similar? And he goes, similar? It's an absolute copy.
Does that mean, in that sense that, what was it? Friggin' Lord of the Rings shit is a spiritual successor to Assassin's Creed because it copied it?
Mordor, you mean? Shadow of Mordor? Took me a second. I was like, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
That shitty Lord of the Rings game that copied Assassin's Creed. That I tried to wipe from my memory.
Yeah, I didn't like that game, but I didn't like the Shadows of Mordor. But that's not a spiritual successor. With this one being a copy, it's made by the same guy who basically has taken his ball and gone home basically, and can't deal with the fact someone else owns that property. It's like if I worked for Disney and I wrote The Lion King. If I then went to work for Warner Bros., I couldn't write basically The Tiger King because no one would stand for that shit.
I'm looking at this list, and this is Bayonetta is a spiritual successor to the Devil May Cry. I never played Devil May Cry, but I have played Bayonetta.
I could see that because Bayonetta and Devil May Cry are very similar, and they
were made by the same people.
Yeah, and they were pretty good. They had completely different stories and different characters and powers and stuff, but they were pretty good games.
Sweet.
Not to be confused with DMC, which is not a good game. Boom, we had to put that out there.
I'm sure it's got something good about it, right? Like, there's how many of them? So there's got to be some good ones.
No, I said the new one was just called DMC. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The new one, which was just called DMC.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know, what do you guys think on everything?
One of my favorite games, Dragon Age, or at least, not like Inquisition. That's a spiritual successor to Baldur's Gate.
Yep.
And that's fucking awesome. Oh, and then I heard, what was it? It was not Heavy Rain. It was, what was it? It was, let me see. It was something spiritual side or something else crazy.
Yeah.
Huh?
I think it was it? I don't know if it was this one or something. The original, I guess, thing for Heavy Rain. It's on Steam. I don't remember the title, but I heard that it came from that. I think it was something wrong with same story writing.
Yeah,
but that, like, I don't know.
Yeah, but I said,
fucking crazy.
I said, what do you guys think about the new style of spiritual successors we're getting?
On that subject, I'm totally fine. I mean, if something works, I don't see a reason to do that, and I don't necessarily agree you can rip off yourself, because I don't know. I think Nintendo really needs to do stuff like that. They already kind of released the same game anyway. And sometimes mechanics are really good and you don't need to do much, because if you change a lot, you end up with Super Mario Sunshine, which I know Mole loves. So
I love it. I love that game.
So I know he's glad that they didn't, rehash stuff that worked and just try something new that was terrible.
Oh, we need more Super Mario Sunshine. Oh.
Yeah, like I said, I knew
we do. It's Splatoon.
Yeah, like I said, I knew people would probably be on different sides of that, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah, I know
in case anyone,
like
in case I was just saying, in case anyone listening thinks this is going to be like some of the other recordings on the Xpound with the two people who aren't here, where they can't understand that if you don't agree with something, you just don't agree with it. That's fine. I
thought we were trying to bring this one in line with our other ones. Shouldn't we argue for like 30 minutes?
Sorry. Fuck you, Richter, and your long dreadlocks.
No, will you let me finish? As I was trying to say.
I think the one I was talking about was the Bioshock
System Shock.
A spiritual successor to the System Shock.
Yeah, and like I said with the things, like you said, the engines work and stuff, which is cool. I reckon they need to make them at least very, look and feel different to what they're doing. Because like I said, like I used the example of if you worked for Disney and you wrote Lion King and go to Warner Bros., you can't make Tiger King because people will be like, what the fuck?
I love you always pick Lion King, like just because of the how he was fairly clearly quote unquote inspired by Kimba the White Lion.
Hey, that's totally Hamlet in like a friggin' nutshell. So
that was Hamlet, and as the people who wrote Lion King and stuff like that, they said they hadn't seen the other one.
He just happens to look almost exactly like him. And it has a similar name.
What is it, like Kimba or something?
They are similar-ish.
Wow, okay.
But The Lion King did have a different story, though.
Yes.
And did feel different. Which, yeah, that's the thing I think they need to work on more, because it's like if I see, say, like what Platinum Games are doing with the new Transformers, I'm really looking forward to that, because that looks different to what Bayonetta does, but yet it looks like the same type of thing of what you're interested in. Like, you don't see Optimus Prime suddenly go, oh, and then use his hair to summon demons through the walls and stuff.
Yeah. We don't always need, like, a whole big new thing. Sometimes you just gotta change a bit, you know?
But I will make the case. It's better when it's something like Mighty Number N or 9 or whatever it's called. It's better when it's something like that more than when the fans try to do it. I'm not sure if you guys have saw that. Like Kickstart recently, it got taken down. Fans were trying to release an F-Zero game.
Oh, they're making their own Captain Falcon game?
Yeah, and I'm like, with Mighty Number N, he's not actually stepping on anyone's toes per se. He's not like, no one owns that title. This is them literally saying, well, fuck you, Nintendo. We're going to release your own game that you own the copyright and everything for. It's like, you definitely can't do that one.
Yes.
If you really want to do that, do it for free.
Yep. Yeah. And I will say that, well, when we talk about spiritual successor as well, people are wondering, there is a difference between a spiritual successor of, like we'd mentioned with, like Pew mentioned, Dragon Age being a spiritual successor to Baldur's Gate. It's clearly very different, blah, 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 blah. And it's made years afterwards as a spiritual successor, as opposed to a complete rip-off of Haze. Because I don't think anyone here is going to say Haze is a spiritual successor to Halo. I don't think those words will leave someone's mouth. And I would say Destiny could be considered one.
It wants to be.
But it does enough stuff differently where I'd say I don't think it is a spiritual successor. It's just a case of it's a shooter, so it's the same genre, and happens to be made by the people who did, let's see, it was Halo 1, 2, and was it 3?
Yes. They were 1, 2, 3, and ODST or Reach. I think it was Reach. Whichever one came second, I believe, is the one they did. Nice.
Yeah, I couldn't remember which ones they'd done and which ones they hadn't. Like, I know they hadn't done Halo Wars or Spartan Assault or anything like that. Spartan Assault was pretty fun, but yeah.
Like, the Mass Effect is like a spiritual successor to Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
And if you ever wanted to kill yourself, well, the spiritual successor to wanting to kill yourself is Ghostbusters Sanctum of Slime.
And I thought you were describing a bunch of suicide-based mobile games.
Yeah. Now, I would say, I don't know if anyone would agree with this one, but I will make the case, Lego Worlds is a spiritual successor to Minecraft. Now, with that one, some people could argue that really close more towards the rip-off category, but Minecraft started by being inspired by Lego, so it kind of makes sense for a Lego game inspired by the other. It just means it's come full circle.
Yeah, I was going to say they inspired each other in different ways.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, I'd have to see how... I don't know how the Lego one plays, so I'd have to see that first.
It plays similar, but mixed with the Lego games. But, yeah, that's a spiritual successor, I believe. And even though it's got the same title, I count this as a spiritual successor. Tales of Monkey Island.
Never played.
It's made by Telltale. But it's a spiritual successor to The Secret of Monkey Island and all that. Well, basically the Monkey Island series as a whole. Because it was made by someone else, and they were trying to recapture the same vibe and do a sequel, but yet not quite a sequel. But is there any spiritual successors Richter likes?
Yeah, there's a couple here I thought were pretty good. I know this one's pretty divisive between people that play it, but I thought Xenosaga Episode 1, which is a spiritual successor to Xenogears, while not as awesome as Xenogears, I still thought that was a really good game.
You're just making up words.
No, I could do that, though.
Yes, you could, and we wouldn't know.
That's I'm saving that for Ikaruga. But yeah, no, I thought that one was a pretty good one. Although Xenosaga Episode 2 was hot garbage. Another one.
I played the game that you're talking about, but it's actually Xenoblade.
That's like a tertiary one, because that's a spiritual successor to a spiritual successor.
Yeah, that was
Like
weird.
Bloodborne.
Yeah, like Bloodborne, which is a spiritual successor to Dark Souls, which was a spiritual successor to Demon Souls.
Yep.
But another one I thought that was good was Hardcore Uprising. I don't know if anyone played that, which is a spiritual successor to Contra. That game was really cool. It's a downloadable one on PS3 and 360. And it's... what's funny is one of the characters, I think he was DLC, was basically like a Contra character. Because like that one, it had differences where like you had health now and other stuff. And but there was one character who always had one thing of health, so one hit would kill him. And he was basically like Contra mode, because he behaved just like those guys and died in one hit like they do and stuff. And I was like, oh, it's kind of neat. They put a guy in that's it's basically like playing Contra if you play it.
Nice. I would ask, spiritual successor-wise, can you be a spiritual successor if a sequel comes out?
Yeah.
The reason I was generally curious about that is, I believe one of the Souls games, can't remember which one, the guy said it was him trying to make his own Legend, like a spiritual successor to Legend of Zelda. And I'm like, that's good, but would that count because there's still other Legend of Zeldas? So I didn't know if that would count. Yeah,
because like, that's the weird thing with like some spiritual successors. Because I feel if it's the same guy doing it, it's like it still is a spiritual successor, but feels less so. Like if it's the same people making it. But yeah, I would say if it's a different person doing it, they're definitely inspired by it. So yeah, it can be even if there's sequels. And to be fair, there's different style. I know it was probably more the 3D ones, but there's different style Zelda games. It took like 15 years to get a 2D Zelda one with Link Between Worlds versus the one before it. It was like on Game Boy.
I could see that. Like, I was just curious because I wasn't sure if how can it succeed something if it's still going. So I thought some people might nitpick that.
But it's spiritual, so it's okay. It's in spirit.
Yeah.
Not in physical body.
Like, I believe Richter said it's not, but the people who made that, what's it called, Scream Ride, said it wanted to be a spiritual successor to Roller Coaster Tycoon.
If they said that, that's really wrong because there's like no sim element. I thought it was gonna be like that, but it's not. There's like no sim elements really. The closest you get is there's one of the modes where you like build part of a track, but you don't do any like operating stuff or hire, like the sim type stuff. So they can say that, but I don't really feel it is. They could argue it's like almost I don't want to say this, but it could be like a evolution / mutation of it, but I wouldn't say it's really
mutation of the living growth.
Yeah, to me, okay, this is not the best example, but to me it'd be like Link's crossbow training. Like it's very loosely linked to Legend of Zelda. It's not really a Legend of Zelda game. It doesn't play like one. It doesn't, no one would just be like, where does this fit in with the canon? They would get slapped in the mouth.
Also, no one ever says, thank God you have your crossbow training, or otherwise you wouldn't have never been as good.
That's your next task, Pew.
What?
You have to look at the official Legend of Zelda timeline and your Hyrule, whatever the fucking encyclopedia book thing. And if it's not there, you have to keep bombarding Nintendo with questions till they answer where is Link's crossbow trainer on the timeline.
Yes.
Keep doing it. It'll be fun. But no, yeah. It's like it's like some spiritual successors as well can actually overshoot the original.
Yeah.
I don't know, but like, there's one on the PC right now. I can't remember its name, but it's a city building simulator, and they wanted to do it as a spiritual successor to SimCity 4 because the actual SimCity game was like always online, DRM, and various other stuff that aren't meant to be in a SimCity game. So like, we're going to make a sequel to your SimCity game. And as a result, apparently EA said they're not going to do any more SimCities because if you want a city building management game, buy that one.
Is it like Cities XL or something like that?
It might be that. I couldn't remember because I've seen a few, and I'm like, but I'm like, that's pretty cool. I mean, they got successful. Ironically, I don't see me buying it because I loved the SimCity games. It may sound weird, but I don't know how different to SimCity it is, if that makes sense. I'm like, I'd rather buy one called SimCity than the same game called something else.
Even though the last one you bought that was actually called SimCity wasn't.
Like I said, it had some things that some fans didn't like. I own that on Xbox, not Xbox. I own that on PC on Origin, and I actually have played that. I do like that game.
Didn't you know Crispy and all the bad people kept coming to his town?
I was playing with someone, I think it might be Rage, but I was playing with someone, and yeah, all their bad stuff was going into their town, and all the good stuff was coming into mine because I had ended up making like a gangster's paradise that ran only on industry and business, and as a result, all the criminals were now fleeing my town because I had a superhero and stuff, so they had no fucking way of committing crime, so they were fleeing to go and commit crime in my neighboring cities, and I'm like, that's kind of cool. I like that. And some people would make the case of, but SimCity shouldn't be online. I make the case, yeah, but when SimCity was first made, online wasn't really a thing. That's like saying Street Fighter shouldn't be online because Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 1 wasn't. You know what I mean? Or it's like saying, oh, well, boo, you shouldn't play Dead Rising 3 online because Dead Rising 1 didn't really have too much integrated online stuff. And I'm like, why? It's an evolution of the times, if that makes sense.
I don't think SimCity should be online only. That's what I think is dumb. Having an online functionality, okay, but their mistake was making it rely on it. Like if Street Fighter relied on it, that'd be stupid. So I would say that, yeah.
I can see that for some games.
So I would think that you're kind of missing it a little bit because if Street Fighter was on, if Street Fighter 5, they're like, always has to be online. People would be like, no.
Oh yeah, I could see that. I mean, I only mentioned that because, like with the Xbox thing of we want you to forgive us and the main changes that people want, they've actually made it so you can play SimCity offline, but people refuse to see that. And it's like, but you can play it offline now. It's just got an online multi. Wow. It's just got. True, but that's like Xbox doesn't use DRM now.
Yeah, but it wasn't released with that DRM.
No, it was released with Kinect, which people thought was going to be forced. And I'm like, no, it doesn't need Kinect. And it's like with SimCity, you can play it offline now. They have listened, but people sadly don't listen when people do stuff. But yeah, I agree. It shouldn't always be online, but there is some games where I can let that go. Like, and spiritual successor, Battlefront. I will let that go because the main offline mode was not really played by as many people, if that makes sense. Like most of the game time was on the online section, so it's like, well, this one always being online kind of makes sense in like a Titanfall style way or something. It's like, that makes sense because it's a spiritual successor because it's not Battlefront 3. It's not made by the same people. They're just saying they're calling it Battlefront because they're trying to be a spiritual successor to the originals while doing their own thing. I'm like, I'm looking forward to Battlefront, let's just say. I know some people probably hate it already. I'm assuming people hate it.
Probably. There's people that hate everything.
Yeah, I saw people being like, boo, it's got half of the movies from the first three, and from the first two, and I was like, but when the first two said it had the prequels, you complained that you had to play through the prequels. what? No, you can't do that. At least I don't think you could do that. You can't say, boo, we don't want to play through the prequels, and then they remove them. Boo, you're not letting us play through the prequels. It's like, no, fuck you. You didn't want this.
Yeah, the best way to illustrate that was this. I don't remember where I saw it, but this random comic where there was like two people on a donkey, and they were writing it, and there's like two people, and they're like, wow, the poor donkey, it's got to carry both people. So then the next frame, the guy got off of it, and his wife got off of it, and they're like, wow, he's gonna make his wife walk. So in the next panel, she's back on and he's off, and they're just like, wow, oh yeah, his wife's really cracking the whip on him. He doesn't get to ride the donkey. And then it's both of them off, and then the two people are like, wow, he doesn't even know how to use a donkey. It's like, no matter what you do, there's always going to be people will complain about anything. They just want to complain.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like, oh my god, I don't want to play the Battle of Naboo. Fine, we took it out. You took out content? Ah! And the problem is sometimes that they're listening to that, and instead of like taking the criticism and saying like, okay, well, what do we think will piss off the least amount of people? They're just like, oh, fine, you don't want it, take it out. And the same people are complaining. They should just stop listening to the people that complain no matter what, because they're not helping.
Yeah, it's like, I assume you saw it, Rick. Did you see last year or the year before? I can't remember which one. Did you see this thing that made me facepalm with when Xbox announced that they were going to take away all the things people didn't like and had been negativity towards them?
Yeah, and they're like, oh, Xbox, they did an Xbox 180.
Yeah, and people were like, oh, they're so weak, they wouldn't stick to their guns. I'm like, you hated their guns.
I like it when people are just like, oh man, yeah, I can't believe they changed. And they're like, yeah, why not? They're like, oh, they gotta like do that. And it's like, well, they only changed to get money. And they're like, and people are like, yes, it's a business. What do you think businesses do? If they're like, oh, people didn't like this, well, we want it to sell. It's like that's why they changed stuff. Well, how do you think this works?
Yeah, I had that conversation with someone, and they were like, yeah, well, Sony wouldn't do that. Sony likes its customers. Sony wouldn't go back on something. I'm like, then why did they take out the PS2 chip from the PS3? So they could sell it cheaper because fans wanted it. And I'm like, yes! And fans at the Xbox brand wanted these changes. No, they didn't. It was just us that wanted this. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And why did you want them? And they're like, well, we wanted this so more people wouldn't be on our systems and be on that one. I'm like, what? How would that help your system? Because we'd have dedicated people? I'm like, okay, we're kind of done. You can't say because we'd have dedicated fans. It's like, no system has pure dedicated fans. Every system but at least one asshole will buy that system. And that one asshole...
Dedicated fans tend to be fanboys, and those are not people you want to associate with for long.
Oh, but Pew's right here.
I know.
I know.
She has other systems.
She does. She doesn't just have the Nintendo Wii U. She also has a DS. 4 of them, in fact.
That's probably accurate.
And 4 copies of Mario Sunshine, because that way even the shit games have sales.
Hey, I have no idea where the 4th one came. That just appeared, because I only got 3.
Well, you left them together. They probably bred.
Yeah. That's what viruses do.
You gotta throw the pills and match the colors, and then they go away.
Because I've always ever had 3. The 4th one just appeared that one time.
Just appeared. Sure, why not?
Part of me is hoping it's a 2-disc game, and just one disc fell out, and she's like, oh my god, a 4th one.
Yeah. But, yeah, like I said, Spiritual Successors, it's a mixed bag overall, but you can get some really good ones out of it, and you can get some terrible ones, but you can get some really good ones. Like you mentioned with that Scream thing, where it's like, but it's taken away all the features of what makes Roller Coaster Tycoon Roller Coaster Tycoon. It's like, but we're a spiritual successor. Are you? Or are you just a game with roller coasters? Did you just see the title, Roller Coaster Tycoon? Hell, Tycoon was probably hidden and you just saw Roller Coaster.
He stopped midway through the title and he's like, we got this.
Yeah. Like Kingdom Hearts is a spiritual successor to fanfic.net. Boom! No, that's me. and accurate, but no. But yeah, like I said, spiritual successors can work out. But like, do you have any? Do you guys know any bad ones? Like an example of a good and then one example of a bad.
Yes.
Okay.
I already said some good ones.
You did.
I'll throw out another one though, because Stacy might cover one of the other ones. But Final Fantasy Tactics is technically a spiritual successor to Ogre Battle, even though they have fairly different systems. But that one was awesome.
I'm surprised you,
but
you never mentioned Final Fantasy Type 0 HD this week.
I don't know what the fuck that's a spiritual successor to. Everything that Final Fantasy is not, and
Not
then
join
turn into a Final Fantasy game.
Not join the topic, join the catch-up.
Oh, well, only you could take two, so.
You could, and but when I was asking you, like, and you said, hang on, let me look, Boarderlands, I guess. I'm like, really, you couldn't think of any of the other ones? But continue, Rick.
Okay, but one that I think was really bad was called Heavenly Guardian. It was on Wii and PS2, and I was excited to try that because it's a spiritual successor to Pocky and Rocky, which is like 1 and 2 of that are some of the best games on the Super Nintendo. Love those games. Really wish I had my copy of number 2, but it's okay. I guess it works out because I have that dude's Guardian Heroes. But anyway, but like it like tried to do the same gameplay, but was just really bad about it. It was like they saw the game, not even like played it. It's like they saw it and like, oh, we can do that. Like I don't even know if any of the same people were involved, but that game was really bad. I was really, really unhappy that I bought that game because I love Pocky and Rocky, and it was like, oh, this looks like, and it does look like it, but it doesn't, and it kind of plays like it, but it's just not done well.
Fair enough. And Pew, an example of a good and bad?
I'm trying to think of a bad one. I don't play bad games, generally.
You have 4 copies of one.
No, they're amazing. But I mentioned a bunch of good ones already.
You did.
I don't know. I don't know a bad one. Was it like Duke Nukem or something? Like, I don't know.
And what was Duke Nukem supposed to be successor
I
to?
don't fucking know. I heard you mention it earlier.
Yeah, I mentioned Duke Nukem Forever was bad. The original Duke Nukem games were pretty fun.
Whatever. It's something I haven't played that, you said was shit.
I said Forever was shit.
That I believe you.
It's the same like Roller Coaster Tycoon. She heard the beginning of it and then just stopped.
Yeah. It is. This is why things like that get made. It's people like Pew. They're just like, well, it's got roller coasters or, like whatever. I know, my Stacy impression is uncanny nowadays, I'm sorry.
Fuck off.
Like, literally, sort of, kind of, figuratively, but literally, sort of, kind of,
Oh
but
my
not
God,
really,
that's
but
so fucking
literally,
good.
whatever.
I'm gonna murder you.
I'm gonna, like, literally, sort of, kind of, totally, sort of, kind
my
of,
God.
literally, but not really, but literally, murder you or whatever. See? That's uncanny.
That's a spiritual successor to goddamn targeting.
Pew's a spiritual successor to Jim.
Oh God.
Oh man.
No, I'll just.
I don't know. Let's not say things we can't take back.
Richter's a spiritual successor to Tachi.
Oh.
It improved it, maybe.
We're done here.
I wouldn't say it's a
You've
spirit
gone too
successor,
far.
but a vast improvement.
He's a spiritual successor. Only Tachi chose PC gaming to be like that with. Rick just chose Vita gaming. Like the amount of times I've said to him, "Oh, I bought Batman Origins, Batman Arkham Origins on the PS3." Ugh. And I'm like, "What? Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate Edition on the Vita is totally the only Batman game worth playing." Ugh, you peasant. You TV peasant. I'm kidding. Rick does not like that for the people listening. Obviously, I hate the fact we have to sometimes say I'm kidding, but some people take stuff way too literal.
I do not.
Like what? But no, join us next week where we'll have a brand new topic. Richter will be hosting. Brand new news. And maybe new catch-up. I say maybe because it's possible we all played the same games. You never quite know with that one. That's the wild card. But yeah. And I'll leave you on the note of if a woman can take a punch, or if a woman can give a punch, she can take a punch. Thank you. And good night.